Hello and welcome to what is probably my last Kenyan road trip video for a long time. Yeah, I'll be traveling, so I won't be able to do a lot of Kenyan videos maybe for another, I don't know, several months or close to a year. Right now I'm in Kisumu. I just left an area called Mamboleo and I'm heading towards Nairobi. So basically I'm going back home. I was in Kisumu for maybe a day, but then I was also in other parts of Western Kenya like Luanda. But yeah, today I'm heading home. So I thought I should bring you along in this road trip, which is one of those road trips I've always wanted to do like a video about, but you know, sometimes you just sort of forget. And maybe because I come to Kisumu several times a year, and yeah, sometimes you just stop thinking of it, doing something which you think is very common. Because I'd say every year I go to Kisumu maybe, I don't know, 3 times a year. I also go to Mombasa maybe 3 times a year. So it's very easy for you to sort of overlook areas where you frequent and look at the state of the road. They are rebuilding this Mamboleo road and it's terrible. But I'd say it's actually way better than it was previously because it had so many potholes. It was basically long overdue for an overhaul. This will make traveling this side way easier. The road in front of me is called the Mamboleo interchange, and this road has been under construction for the last, I don't know, 10 years, and it's only a stretch of 1 kilometer. I've never known what happens. Like, it's a very short road. This is something that should have been done in maximum 6 months, but they're still constructing it, which is just bizarre. There is this tarmac section, which is a short distance, and then you can just see the cloud of dust ahead. Yeah, this road has taken ages and ages to build. This is the railway line. Today it's not functioning. It only works on Fridays and I think Sundays. If you haven't seen my video of the Kisumu train review, you should do that. I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to fuel and then I'll do like a small drive around Kisumu town. Seriously, with roads like this, honestly, you'll be buying suspensions every 6 months. And I'm driving a Nissan, so you can imagine how rough this feels. Yeah, Nissan cars nowadays are not the best. They've just turned to total crap, especially their suspension systems. Should I do a review of this car? Well, actually there's nothing really unique about it. It's a Nissan Xtrail, I think a 2014 model, 1800cc engine, maybe 150 brake horsepower. So yeah, not the fastest things on the road, but I'd say on good road it drives pretty well. But when you start driving on roads like this, that's where you start feeling all the shortcomings of a Nissan. And this is probably in front of me is maybe one of the best cars on the planet, the Land Cruiser with the V8 engine. It gargles oil for breakfast, lunch and dinner, but I mean, it drives like a tank, looks like a tank, extremely reliable. In Kenya we call it the politician's car because all politicians drive that. They probably also have like Range Rovers just seated parking. They drive those when they're in Nairobi, but whenever you want to go to the village to give people new promises, that's what you drive because the roads there are terrible. So you know, you need a very fancy car to drive to the village to tell them about how you're going to construct the roads. That is the Kisumu bypass. So going to Nairobi, I would have just taken the first left, but yeah, since I want to do a very short drive in town, let's go straight. I hope there isn't much traffic, but yeah, good thing with towns outside Nairobi, most of them don't have a lot of traffic. town center. Today is Thursday, so it's quite busy. Yesterday was Wednesday. There was supposed to be protest, but then it was cancelled. And yeah, they say Kisumu is a hotspot whenever there is a government protest. But yeah, there wasn't anything much that happened yesterday. In front is the infamous Kisumu sign. Whenever you see pictures of Kisumu, you probably see that. And then on the left, on my right, that's the sports ground. This is Sarovar, Kisumu. It's a popular restaurant, hotel. And ahead is a mall. I can't remember the name, but there's like a Java and a supermarket and other things. So maybe on this roundabout, let me take the third exit. If you just go down straight with this road, you'll end up in the lake. Like the lake is just down there, maybe 1 kilometer away. There's a Lana. This is a very old monument. I think it was erected in the early 1900s, the one in front. Let's head straight. I'd say now this is like the old Kisumu with the smaller buildings. 1936 Manwar building. On the right, that will be heading towards the industrial area of Kisumu. So that's where there is a lot of the companies. But there was a proposal that they should all be moved and then they clear the entire area so that this space can be used as a, what's it called? Not a frontier. Okay, there's the lake. But yeah, so that this space can be used as like a tourist thing, because the lake is just like behind these buildings, which it makes sense for them to move them if possible, and then they convert these into a touristy place where people can access the lake. But yeah, these companies, some of them have stayed here for so many years, so it will be very hard to convince them to relocate without proper incentives. Can't see any sign. Okay, that was a mistake. And that was a brief ride of Kisumu. Now let's go to a petrol station, fuel, check the tires, and start the 5-hour journey to Nairobi. My setup is now ready. This one is recording, pointing at me. I have my phone pointing at the road. I hope it won't be too shaky. But I've fueled, I've checked the tires. I think I'm ready to move. My first stop will be at, what's it called, Kericho. My traveling tradition is always to buy a dawa from Java. So I'll stop at the one in Kericho. Then from Kericho, maybe I'll stop in Nakuru, maybe not. It will depend with how I feel. But yeah, it's more of a slow, scenic drive. I'm not in a rush to go anywhere, so I don't mind even if I take 7 hours. Usually this journey takes like 4 hours 30 minutes if you don't stop, or 5 hours. But yeah, today I'm going to just take it slow, enjoy the scenery, maybe stop a few places if possible, and let's start the journey. Oh, the one problem that I have with recording video is I can't listen to music because now the phone is recording the road. Plus, if I play music, then I might end up with a copyright strike, which is not fun. Therefore, I won't even put any music in this video. It will be purely the sounds that can be captured from this noisy cabin of Nissan Xtrail. Don't get me wrong, it's a very good car. Like, you know, I'd say it's very cheap to maintain. Most of the parts are cheap, although it's very hard to find genuine Nissan spare parts in Kenya. Most of them tend to be either ex-UK. What that means is they are second-hand goods imported from the UK or other countries, and maybe that is what brings all the issues about Nissans not being very reliable here in Kenya. Because, for example, the bushes, they're very cheap, but then you'll replace them, and then after like 3 months again you'll start hearing some rattling noises. Then you'll have to replace them again. Same thing with suspensions. But I'm sure if people were to buy, or if you're to get genuine, 100% genuine, brand new spare parts, then these cars will serve you for quite some time. Yeah, there's tuk-tuks everywhere. When you see so many tuk-tuks and boda bodas, you know you're driving in Kisumu. You constantly need to be checking your side mirrors, you know, your back mirror, what's it called, the rear mirror thing, because they appear from nowhere, and trust me, you don't want to hit a motorbike guy. rumble strips. You can hear that, how it's noisy because of the suspension system. If you were to drive a car with very good suspension, you won't even hear those rumble strips. Or whatever is beeping, that will be the lane assist. So every time you sort of swerve out of a lane, it will beep. But again, because of all the tuk-tuks and motorbikes, it means it will keep beeping a lot, because sometimes you just have to maneuver on the side without completely switching to the other lane. Oh, look at that. A lorry full of sugarcane. Yeah, this is a very prime area for sugarcane. I'd say one of the biggest cash crops, unlike in Nyandarua where it's potatoes, mawaru. In Nyanza the cash crop is sugarcane. What else comes from Nyanza? Hibiscus, that I learned recently, that hibiscus comes from, a lot of hibiscus comes from Nyanza. What would be the other cash crop? There used to be a time rice used to come from Ahero, which is only 10 minutes away from where I am right now. But nowadays I rarely hear about rice from Ahero. I don't know what happened. I don't know if just people lost interest in it. Another cash crop from Nyanza will be millet. Yes, a lot of sorghum and millet grows on this side. So that's why the brown ugali is very popular this side. So before people started making ugali with maize flour, they used to use millet way back in the 14th, 15th century. The road from here to the Muhoroni junction is going to be very busy. It's narrow, there's a lot of trucks, especially these sugarcane trucks, which are very slow. There's a lot of motorbikes and the tuk-tuks again, which keep stopping. But then after Muhoroni, the Muhoroni junction, the road is going to be clear. I've decided to use the Kericho route instead of the Muhoroni route. The Muhoroni route involves a lot of climbing, so I just want to avoid that because it's very steep. When you're coming from Nairobi, I suggest it's better, although it has so many bumps, but it's a better route to use. But when you're going towards Nairobi, yeah, the Muhoroni route, it's too steep. You're just basically climbing and climbing and climbing, which is tiring. But then, and after that again, you'll have to start climbing Mau. So yeah, I prefer to just use the Kericho route. And also the Kericho route is, I'd say, more scenic. It's probably one of the more scenic routes in Kenya. It's very beautiful with all the tea farms and all that. Yeah, this video is going to be just me rambling and stating random facts and just random things about this Kisumu Nairobi drive. I've actually done this drive, so I've driven a lot on this road, but I've also I used to study in Nyanza, so I used to use this road frequently when I was in high school. And at that time, the roads were not the best, so it used to take the bus will leave Nairobi 10 p.m. a Kamba bus. Oh, there's a mosquito inside here. 10 p.m. and then we will get to Bondo 8 a.m. So it used to be a very long journey. During that's fun compared to closing days when you're going home. Where I was talking about the rice, you can see all the rice farms. I don't know if it's visible, but yeah, on the left, that's a very huge rice farm. The road is very busy, and I suspect it will be like this all the way to Nairobi. Banyando, you can't see it really, but whenever it rains a lot in Kenya, this road always floods and it's impassable. You can't pass completely because this river bursts and it covers this entire area. There was a popular video which was turned into more more like a meme. If you've seen it, of that woman who says, nyumba yangu imeenda na maji, serikali saidia. Yep, that is this area. Yeah. Over the last few years, I don't think it has flooded really. There hasn't been much rain for the last, I'd say, 6 years. So we haven't seen any new cases of flooding. But yeah, that water wipes out, like, you know, probably thousands of houses around. Yeah, here to Kisii will only take you, what, 1 hour 30 minutes maybe. That road, I'd say it's also one of my most favorite driving roads. It's very good. I'd actually say that is the most well-marked road ever in Kenya, apart from the one that goes all the way to Mandera. But that road is perfection. If someone who likes long drives, you should definitely do that. So let's say you're going to Kisumu, you can go all the way to Narok, use the Narok route, go all the way to Kisii, and then down this road, and then you'll join here. Then you can go to Kisumu, and then you can go back to Nairobi with this road. Or if you have a lot of time, you can go towards Kakamega, Eldoret, and then you drive down to Nakuru using the other road which goes through the escarpments. So yeah, it's a very good loop. Definitely something worth doing. I'm getting close to the Londiani junction, so I should be only, what, 40 minutes away from Kericho. From here it's like 40 kilometers. The sign says 36 kilometers to Kericho. Not so far. Climb of Kericho. It's a very hilly place, but from the top it looks very beautiful, especially in the evening with the sunset. It's, yeah, something else. And straight ahead, those hills, behind those hills, that's where Kericho is. It's interesting how the vegetation changes from sisal and sugarcane, and then in Kericho we are going to go into tea, and then from tea we change to maize, mostly maize and carrots, although carrots you won't see them next to the road. Oh yeah, maize and potatoes. Oh, it's Muhoroni. I don't know why I've been calling it Londiani, but I think Londiani is also just inside that side. Yeah, look at that. Can't even climb the hill. A lot of sugarcane. Okay, next stop is Kericho. accident. A truck was fallen. You can see that. Put the hazard on. Yeah, these are very bendy roads. Yeah, that happened maybe just a few minutes ago. I don't know how it happens when there's an accident. It's like all of a sudden there's 100 border guys. Is it one person that passes and then tells everyone else, hey, there's an accident, come and see? Probably not the best thing to witness. Yeah, this side is very beautiful. The Kericho junction, one road goes to, I think it's called Target or something, and now I'm totally confused. Again, no road marking, so yeah, that goes to, you can use that to go to Kisii, or joining the other road that connects to Bomet. Kericho town should be only maybe 5 minutes away from this junction. We'll stop at the Java, get the tower. I need to adjust this camera, check the batteries for the camera, that is, and good to go. The next stop will be Nakuru, but I'm 50-50 on that. I'll either stop, if not, maybe I'll stop in Kericho. We'll see. And here is Kericho town. I haven't found much to do in Kericho. Oh, apart from the Chesumot campsite. I think that's the only place I'd say I've visited in Kericho. The only other place where I always try to stop whenever I can is the tea farms. So I'm sure I'm going to do that. But yeah, the town itself is just along this line, this main highway. There used to be a very popular stopover here when the roads used to be bad and traveling took whatever 10 hours, so people used to stop here. And there's all these guys with maize who will put it on a stick because the bus is very high up, and then they try it to sell. Yeah, it used to be interesting times. Nowadays I don't see those guys so much. Kericho also stretches a bit on the inside, this side, but yeah, this is like the main tea producing region in I'd say in Africa, and also I think it's top 5 in the world. We're going to stop at one of the tea farms and take a few pictures. But for now, there is the mall that I'm going into. I'm guessing this is a turn since there's no sign. It looks very illegal. But if there's no sign, it's not my fault. I don't construct roads. And there's the Java. Niaje? Unahitaji kitu ama niko sawa? Niko sawa kuingia? Haya, sawa sana. Yes, that is a very steep parking. Oh, wait. Perfect. Let's grab a dawa and proceed with the journey. Oh, dawa, water, and I have 2 sausages. This should be enough. Okay, let's proceed. Santi. Yeah, that's a weird parking system. They're putting a sticker on the tire. Definitely need to find a place to stop and just soak in the views of these tea farms. I've used this road so many times, but it's amazing that I've never got tired of looking at all these tea farms here. If you've never been to Chesumot, you should visit. Very nice campground because you're literally inside a tea farm. It's called the Chesumot Tea Factory. There's some cops ahead who arrested me once, so let me pay attention to them. It's also interesting that the weather here is very, very, very different from Kisumu. In Kisumu, it was like yesterday, it was around 30 degrees during the day, while here I don't think the temperature ever goes beyond I'd say 24 degrees Celsius. So it's quite, even right now it's very sort of cold, and I have the AC on at 18 degrees Celsius, but it's because I'm cooling the phone, otherwise it's going to overheat because of the recordings. Even the cows here are different. These are like, what are they called, Fresian or Fresian, which produce a lot of milk compared to the cows in Kisumu, which are brown. Mau, 50 kilometers. That will be another place where we'll be doing a lot of climbing. The Mau, is it called the Mau Forest or the Mau Reserve, which is estimated to disappear in the next 20 years. And once that disappears, that is the trees. A lot of cutting is happening that side right now. So when those trees disappear, it means a lot of the rivers are going to dry up, especially, and one of the main rivers that is going to dry up is the river that cuts across Masai Mara National Park. There's a few times when it has dried out, so whenever a lot of people go to watch the wildebeest migration, it's not as action-packed as it used to be before, because now there isn't any water, so the animals just cross easily. They don't have to do all that diving they do. It's estimated that the Masai Mara National Reserve will also disappear maybe in another like 20-30 years. And remember, Masai Mara is connected to Serengeti. Therefore, if all these animals disappear from the Kenyan side, it means they'll just move to Serengeti. And Serengeti is what? Maybe 5 or even 10 times bigger than the Masai Mara. So the animals don't really have a lot of incentive to be on the Kenyan side if the Kenyan side becomes dry. Should I stop here? Where can I stop? No, let me go ahead. There's a place where there's also like some houses where the tea farmers stay or people work in the factory. Yeah, this is perfect. I'm going to switch audio to the phone. That is beautiful. It's very calm. It feels relaxing. And there's also other tea farms on the other side. look at that. This will be a very nice place to stay. There's the tea. The tea leaves, I don't know how to check if they're ready to pluck or not, but that is beautiful. I mentioned the car, but I didn't even show you what it looks like. There it is, Nissan Xtrail. Yeah, the new shape, sort of. But I'd say it's quite a looker. It's not an ugly car. That one I have to give it, compared to the Nissan Juke, which is the ugliest car ever made. But yeah, that looks nice. Enough of the tea farms. So Mount Summit, 46 kilometers away. Infractions back there. There's also hawkers standing on the road. After the Londiani accident, I thought people would stop doing this, but yeah, clearly not. Yeah, so many people died when that truck had no brakes, and it ended up killing so many people. Oh, Chesumot Estate. I was told you can use this side to access the campsite, but the road is not the best, so it's better to just go around for another 20 minutes. This video is going to be very long. To be honest, I'll try and edit it to be short, but I think the shortest it's going to be is maybe 40 minutes. So consider this a mini documentary of driving from Nairobi, Kisumu to Nairobi. Plus it's going to be a long time before I do this again. Junction, so the Muhoroni Junction. I don't know why I keep thinking of Londiani, but if you use the Muhoroni Junction, this is where you come out. Yeah, there was a very massive accident that happened here a while ago. Wait, is this the correct place? Yeah, I think. If not, it's ahead. One side goes all the way to Eldoret. Oh, this is a two-way. I always confuse that. But I can overtake this tourist van. Yeah, the the road down here that goes to Eldoret all the way to Lodwar. Start of the dual carriageway in Mau Summit. Now they built this wall because these trucks used to kill so many people. I'm sorry, but yeah, that is just a lot of the stories about driving in Kenya involves a lot of accidents. There's so many fatalities that happen. So this wall was basically built so that if something was to happen on this side, it won't spill over to this other side or the reverse. And even straight ahead you can see they constructed all these runaway track ramp, so it's 1 kilometer ahead. I'd probably say this is top 3 most dangerous roads in Kenya, this section here. And then there's another section ahead which I can't remember the name, the one where the speed limit is 50 kilometers per hour. You can see all these trucks. Runaway tram, 200 meters, so there it is. But it's blocked now. Yeah, here. In case a truck fails, it can go there. Yeah, driving here you need the maximum attention, especially if it rains. It's even worse because the road is very slippery. I can see now there's even potholes, probably because of all these trucks. Section of the road is called Salga. This is the last dangerous part of the road, so there's no other road I'm going to talk about saying it's dangerous. But yeah, it's a descent from the other side towards Mau for what, maybe like 10 kilometers going down. Again, another place where a lot of the trucks where the brakes used to fail, and now they enforced a 50 kilometers per hour speed limit on this road, going down, not going up. That's why I can overtake, but yeah, for people going down, they have to be at 50 kilometers per hour, which is very, very slow. And you can imagine for all that distance. But since they enforced that, honestly, I can't remember the last time I heard of a major accident happening here in Salga, but yeah, this was a terrible hotspot. The next town is Nakuru, maybe in another 15 minutes. I don't think I'm going to stop in Nakuru. I think I'll just go straight to Kericho and maybe stop in Kericho because Nakuru tends to have some sort of traffic. So there's no point of me sitting in traffic today. At this pace, it's 11. I should probably be home by 2 p.m. latest, which is good time. Or even 3 p.m. fine with also 3 p.m. just in case I stop at a few other places. You can see what I was saying before about the different types of cash crops in different areas. Now this side is just maize. I'm sure there's other things, but maize is the most popular because this side towards Nakuru, it's very hot. Not very hot, but it's hotter compared to Kericho. And tea only works in high climate zones. And now the final approach to Nakuru. Nakuru is down there. On the left, that hill is called Menengai. It has a crater, Menengai crater. So all this is in the floor of the Rift Valley. We've just left the Mau escarpments. So we're going to be just descending all the way till we reach Nakuru, because Nakuru is at the lowest level. You can see all these signs written black spots. Like this one coming ahead. Black spot. Definitely a place you have to be keen. And straight ahead is Lake Nakuru. I don't know if it's visible on this, but yeah, that is Lake Nakuru. Very huge from here. Yeah, I have decided I'm not going to stop in Nakuru, but here we are in Nakuru, the town that is trying to achieve city status. I think there's only 3 cities in Kenya, that is Nairobi, Mombasa and Kisumu. I don't know if they confirmed Eldoret as a city, I can't remember that. But Nakuru is more of like the center point for anyone traveling towards Western Kenya. This is where all the buses will stop for a break before they proceed. It doesn't look too busy, I'm surprised. I thought this road will be very busy right now with traffic. Or maybe I've spoken too early. So here is something sort of interesting I used to do whenever I traveled for a long distance and I'm alone. I used to go to like a stage, bus terminus, and then I'll ask the guys there to give me passengers. So that would be like, I don't know, four other passengers. If each of them pays me 1,000 shillings, right now I'm sure the fares are a bit higher because of all the fuel price increase. So right now it's probably like 1,500 shillings per person. That is 6,000 shillings, and I mean that means I have fuel. So that used to be my rule, never ever travel long distance alone and use money from your own pocket to fuel when you can get people to fuel your car. So yeah, that used to be my strategy. The only thing about that is you have to go to an official terminus to carry people. Don't ever carry people along the road. Like here, let's say there's people who are standing here and they want to go to Nairobi. Never ever do that. Go right inside the terminus and carry people from there, and make sure it's direct to Nairobi, or if it's Kisumu or Nakuru, direct to the town. Drop them in the main terminus. Never drop anyone, in the middle of the road. So just tell them in advance. Otherwise, that's how you end up getting kidnapped. Trying to be generous. Yeah, after Nakuru, the next stop. Should I stop in Naivasha? I'm still not sure. Like, I'm trying to think, is it necessary? No, okay. I think I know what I'm going to do. I'm going to stop at the viewpoint. Yes, that is a better idea. Because, yeah, there's no need for me to enter Naivasha. and I don't think I'm hungry, so I don't need to go to like a supermarket or anything. I still have a little of my dough remaining, and I have this entire bottle of water, so I should be good. Yeah, I think I'll just stop for 5 minutes at the viewpoint, and after that go straight to Nairobi. Okay, I passed Nakuru, and I think there's an accident here, because yeah, it looks like there's chaos. Trucks are going on the right side of the road. I have to ask what's happening here. I don't know if following those guys would be a good idea or not. Probably. Yeah, probably a truck has fallen. There's a truck behind me. It's making me not very comfortable. That's a lot of dust. Yeah, I can't see what's wrong. But that's the thing about these situations. Like, you should not wait for a solution to present itself. You should basically try and create a solution. Oh, okay, I've seen what has happened. It's a head-on collision. Yeah, that is bad. Yeah, that is bad. A matatu and a personal car, like a small car. That is bad. I hope no one is injured seriously. Yeah, that's terrible. But that's the thing about these roads. Like, good thing there's a highway patrol there, so you can imagine. Look at all those trucks, and it's what, 11:45 a.m. So what will happen is this traffic is going to build up over time. If they don't clear that quickly, it's going to get way worse. Okay, we'll have to borrow one of these guys, truck guys, to let us pass. Okay, that's perfect. Did make sure there's no car. Okay, good. And we are clear. Yeah, that's the thing about this road. You have to be very quick whenever you see something like that happen. You have to be very quick when you see something like that. Look at all these trucks. This is a massive traffic jam, and it's going to build up a lot if they don't clear it. It's like Elementator Mountain Lodge. Oh, there's probably not visible on this camera, but there's some very fancy hotels up there. They're called like Elementator Mountain Lodge, and on this other side, from up there, you can see like Elementator, which is on this other side. So it has a very beautiful view. And further ahead is Kariandusi, a place called Kariandusi, where there's so many remains of early humans. So to go to like Elementator Lodge, you take this left, and it's what, 7-kilometer drive. Jeez, that's far. And it's terrible road all the way up. Maybe it's part of the experience. But there they are up there. I've always wanted to go there. One day I should. It's more of a staycation kind of place to go, where you just want to go and chill, not doing much. So perfect for like a weekend getaway. And if you have the time, you can go down to Lake Elementator. There are no boat rides in Lake Elementator or anything like that. There is no activities there. but there's several campsites. There's geothermal spots where water is bubbling from below, and also not visible on the camera, but there's a very nice hiking trail on this side called Sleeping Warrior. So it's a mountain that looks like a warrior that is sleeping. You should check out my video that I did camping at I think it was called Oasis Campsite, which is just here in Lake Elementaita. Lake Elementaita is more of a breeding area for birds, so that's why they don't allow a lot of water activities there. But if you want a lot of water activities, just ahead is Lake Naivasha, maybe 30 minutes away, and there you can find boat rides, you can hike, you can camp, you can do all sorts of things. There's giraffes in an island. I think they're still there, and if not, then they were moved when the water levels were increasing. So at this point we are going to do again some climbing, just a bit of climbing, and then Gilgil. Gilgil is a hotspot, not for accidents, but for traffic jam because of all these trucks. There's a big way bridge there, so a lot of these trucks will stop. Actually, all trucks must stop there. Now the problem with that is, if it's in the evening, or let's say it's during Christmas or something like that, you can imagine how that place is crowded. So it's not uncommon for you to hear people slept on this road for, I don't know, you can get stuck on traffic here for even a full day easily. That's why I never travel on this road during like Christmas seasons. It's not worth it. Personally, I don't think it's worth it. If I have to, I think I'd try and position myself to get the train. And the road is now busy. Drive doing all this overtaking because there's no climbing lanes. So if you don't do that, I mean, you'll end up wasting hours on this road. I'm approaching the Gilgil toll station, and there's a family of baboons on this side. There's so many of them. People like feeding them. You give them bananas and stuff. Some people even buy stuff to give the baboons. They consider it a blessing. So that's why that has happened for so long. So maybe now they've known this is a good place to come to get free food from people traveling. There used to be so many zebras on this road. Nowadays I rarely see them. And also like antelopes. Yeah, I can't see any. But on this side, that's the Soisambu Reserve, Soisambu Ranch, something like that, where the Safari Rally Championship happened, the Wild Rally Championship. This side. I've been stuck here, I think 3 times on different years. And the worst time I got stuck, was it on the 22nd? I was coming back from, I think, Eldoret. Then I passed here, and then I got stuck here from I think it was around 8 p.m. By the time I was able to move, it was 3 a.m. in the morning. Yeah, just this stretch of road, maybe 2 kilometers. So whenever possible, before you travel, just check with Google Maps, especially if it's during those times when it's high peak season. Just check with Google Maps. If this road is too busy, use the Narok road. If that is also very busy, there's another road which passes close to Aberdare's National Park, so the Aberdare mountain ranges, which goes all the way to Nakuru, and you will miss this entire traffic. That road, well, it's very long, but whenever there's traffic here, that is the best option. flower seasons. On the left, those are pineapples. So this is called Delamere, this area, just before Naivasha. It used to be very popular with yogurt milk, people selling them along the road. Nowadays, again, I don't see. Nowadays, I don't see those guys a lot. Another thing is also popular with these flowers. So a lot of flowers come from this side here in Naivasha and this Delamere area. So there's so many like plantations on the left, on the right side. But my favorite on this road has always been this canopy created with these yellowback acacia trees. It creates a very nice shade. I should be in Naivasha in like 10 minutes. It's 12:26 p.m. Then from Naivasha to Nairobi without any traffic is usually like only 1 hour, but that won't be possible today, so maybe 1 hour 30 minutes from Naivasha. Naivasha is maybe one of the towns where I've done so many videos about, so probably go back to previous videos and check them out. There's camping, there's mountain climbing, Mount Longonot, which is, oh, I can see it, oh, it's on my right. Wildlife. Naivasha has everything, that's why it's very popular. It's a very popular tourist destination, both locally and internationally. This also used to be a stopover during the days when the roads were terrible. Here at Delamere, people will stop for like 10 minutes, bathroom break. You grab like samosas or stuff, and then the next stop will be Nakuru. After Nakuru, the third stop will be Kericho, and then after Kericho, Kisumu. I've done this road so many times. There's nothing new for me to say. Maybe you can check out the Naivasha video. I went camping. I'm sure I talked a lot more on that video about this section because I was driving from Nairobi to Naivasha. So check that out. That's a tourist guy. It's going to Naivasha probably. And here is the viewpoint, my final stopover. Okay, getting out of the road is usually a bit tricky. But let's see, actually can fit in. Yeah, the stopover. Yep. I'll be here for maybe only 3 minutes, soak in these views, and then yeah, head home. Oh, I've seen a washroom. I need to use that. Yeah, that toilet has a very magnificent view. And that's it from the viewpoint. Final stop, home. Now I'm starting to get hungry. Yeah, it's always better and safer to check out the viewpoint from Nairobi going to Nakuru, not the other way around. If it's busy, you're going to take forever trying to merge. have a lot of information about Kenya, and I'm trying to think of the best way to compile this information and have it easily accessible. So I saw WhatsApp has launched channels, so I don't know. I think I'm going to research on that, and if possible, I'll open an Ninaform channel on WhatsApp, which is easier considering everyone is on WhatsApp and not Telegram. So I think I'm going to consider doing that now. But then, yeah, stay tuned for the videos in the next country, which, to be honest, at this point, I'm not sure how to go about it, considering it will be a completely different country. So if you've watched my videos when I was in Scotland, maybe tell me, suggest the things you'd want to know, the things you'd want to see, and I can make videos about that, because primarily the target of this channel is Kenyans. There's several people from Tanzania, Uganda, so it's mostly East Africans, and then the US, but I'm assuming the US is also mostly Kenyans who stay in the US. But yeah, suggest things you'd want to see. Okay, enough rambling. If you've watched up to this point, thank you, and see you in the next adventures in a different country.